would you view like training your dog to do some things like roll over or like tricks that are not necessary just for fun? Would that be animal abuse? So what would you do if like you had your own chickens? What like things can replace the protein of meat? I have a question. Are you vegan?
Agree or disagree?
I think animal abuse is wrong because animals have right to shelter, food, and water and a safe home, just like we do because we're also technically animals. So, yeah.
Do you have anything to say about this?
Yeah, it's wrong because, like, it would not be nice. And, like, we are also, like, animals. And just imagine if you were in their shoes. Or, well, technically feet because they don't have shoes. It would be, you wouldn't like it.
How do you feel when you watch animals suffer?
I feel really bad and I try to, like, stop it if I can because it's not right. No, it's not right.
It just feels wrong. And it's super sad.
I feel the same way. What industries do you think abuse animals?
Like some industries, they make like chickens, like they like in some way torture chickens to like get eggs and stuff. I think that's really bad. Or I don't know if it happens. Maybe cows and milk.
Yeah. And also, once we got to a restaurant, I don't know where, but that was a long time ago. But there was like a man and a bull, and this man had like this red flag.
Oh yeah.
And it was like
bullfighting?
Yeah, and it was really sad. And like you had to turn away from the like TV because it was like really sad, and we didn't want to watch that.
Yeah.
And circus, like
Circuses?
yeah, they trained like animals to like get through fire or like rings with fire and stuff. I think that's really like animal abuse. Yeah. I mean, training your dog to like do simple things, I think is okay.
Or anything, but if you like do like bullfighting or like in the circus, you like train them, and if they do something wrong, you like hit them. That's just wrong.
Mm-hmm. So would you say that you're against animal abuse then?
Yes.
I know that you guys don't like shop necessarily because you're still young, right? But in terms of adults, like for example your parents or the adults that you know, can you say you can be against animal abuse and buy those things?
So we almost never go to circus. If we do go to a circus, we always check there's no animal abuse or anything.
Yeah.
We rarely have eggs. I don't really, like, we eat meat for protein. I hate meat, honestly. But I need it because, like, for the sports I do need protein. Like, I think there's other better ways to get, like, protein inside your body. But meat is a very effective one. We have meat, not very often, though.
Yeah, but once my friend, she has chickens. Her mom gives us eggs and gives eggs to most of her neighbors, so they don't have to like if they shop to like any shops because maybe there is animal abuse. And also they're like really good. They don't torture the chickens. They just like check like once a day to see, and like they like treat them like kindly. Everyone should be treated the same and like kind. Everyone should be kind.
Yeah, all right, so you mentioned some really good points. I just wanted to first talk about, like how we need protein, right? And as you mentioned, there might be other ways to get protein that are better for animals especially, but also good for us, right? Something that's really cool to know is that they've done a lot of studies that basically show that vegans can be just as healthy if you just make sure that you eat, well. If you eat meat, you have to eat well to be healthy. Same with like plants. Apart from that, some people that have chickens, right? Backyard chickens, so they treat them well, right? I'm here to basically talk about animal rights. I want them to have the right to be free and to not be used, as objects. And to me, it's animal abuse to use an animal as an object. For example, also in the case of chickens, they actually need to eat their eggs because their bodies, I know it's really surprising, when they make an egg, a lot of good stuff basically that their body needs goes in the egg. They make too many eggs now. If I had a chicken, I would treat the chicken as a dog. You wouldn't really take the milk of a dog, for example, because it's their milk, right? It's for their babies, right? Which is still the milk from a family member,
No.
Exactly. That's kind of how I view it.
Yeah.
Again, my sister might say, well, you can use it. But a chicken really can't say that. They can't say it's okay for you to take my eggs and eat them. But also something that they do in sanctuaries where basically they have animals. They don't make money off of them. They basically treat them as a dog or cat that you might have. And what they do is that they give them birth control so that they don't actually make as many eggs. Before we farmed chickens, they didn't make as many eggs as now. And now it's way too much for their bodies, and so they have really big problems because of that.
Would you view like training your dog to do some things like roll over or like tricks that are not necessary just for fun? Would that be animal abuse?
I think that's one is a little gray. I don't really know. I think it depends on whether like the dog enjoys it, if it's more like a game, or if he has to do it even if it's not fun for the dog. You know, what would you think?
So I think it depends. If you cross a line, it's not okay anymore. Because my neighbor has a dog. I always take her for walks. I love the dog.
Yeah.
But sometimes she does get out of control. We have to like not hurt the dog, but like make her come back, like scream at her so she doesn't get hurt.
It's like for her own safety.
Yes.
And for the like others.
It might be animal abuse if the dog learns a trick and if they don't do it, you like hurt them or something.
Yeah.
I feel like every dog has to learn like at least some tricks to like come back if there's like a dangerous thing or something for their own safety. I think that's necessary.
I think a good way to know if it is really animal abuse is like, would you do that with a friend? You know, if it's a game, you're kind of teaching them a trick because it's fun for both of you. Maybe it's good. Have you ever heard of a lifestyle that avoids animal products so that we don't abuse animals?
Vegan.
Yeah.
I thought about being vegetarian. I didn't last like 2 days. But like, I think I still try to eat as least meat as possible. Or like that's not necessary because I think vegans, are they like healthy?
Well, it depends, right? You can be on a plant-based diet and be healthy and and that's totally possible. It's easy, but you also can eat a lot of junk food, right? And be unhealthy. So
Yeah, but some people like love meat, and it's like too hard to let it like go completely. Eat like meat like once a week, and like make sure it's not like animal torture.
I have a question. Are you vegan or vegetarian?
yes, I am eating less animals or less of their milk, etc. Obviously, it is better, but I would say that it's not enough. This animal that had to die, it's still one animal, right? That had to die for you. And since we know we don't need to use them to be healthy, why do that, you know? What do you think is the best benefit of being vegan?
You feel proud to
I
be
feel like-
saving animals.
You feel proud to be saving animals? I feel like maybe it's good for yourself because it doesn't exactly feel very nice to know you're murdering animals for your own good or maybe making them suffer. Because I see animals as like, well, not exactly people, but we're animals too.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't feel good if I had to die for someone else's good or I had to be tortured. I think you'd also be healthier. Donuts and stuff, they also have eggs, so you can't really eat them.
Well, they make vegan donuts, like plant-based donuts as well now, but you know, it's like what we said earlier. What do you think you can do moving on from this conversation?
I just realized today in the morning we went to a McDonald's and we ate scrambled eggs with a hamburger. Now I feel pretty bad. I will try to like not consume meat if it's not necessary or like as least as possible.
Now I would not eat as much meat and like eat more veggies.
I know this is harder because you guys are kids, right? But what about the animals that have to die for the little bit of meat or cheese, for example, that you do eat?
I think that's very, very, very unfair to the animals and unfair like from us. For us, it's very selfish from like me, for example, to eat cheese or scrambled eggs. I do feel kind of guilty, but if someone like doesn't feel even like a little bit guilty about like eating cheese, it's not good at all to eat things that kill animals. It's just wrong.
They can't speak. They aren't that strong, and they can't communicate with us to like say, I don't want you to take my eggs, or I just don't want to die for you because I don't want to make your meal.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, I also want to say to you guys, like, I became vegan at 14, and my parents did not want me to go vegan. They did not want it. It was years ago when it was a little bit harder than now. Fortunately, now it's a little bit easier for people. So I understand how hard it can be for a kid. My family and friends are gonna be like, mocking me, for example, things like this. But the thing that made it easy for me was to remember why I did it, which is I would not want this to be done to me if I was this animal. And really remembering that each time that I do eat or consume or use an animal product, there is someone on the other end of that had to suffer for me, right? And it's so beautiful to live in a way that, like, I know I can do something for them, And I know it's harder for you, and I really appreciate you guys being so honest and awesome about this, in this conversation. But until you do go vegan, animals will be exploited and killed for you on your behalf. And I know it's hard, but it is true. And so if we can do something for them, which we can, I think we definitely should,
I remember in 5th grade, a couple of years ago, I tried going vegetarian. My parents talked me out of it. What things can replace the protein of meat? Because my parents told me I couldn't go vegetarian, because I climb and I need strength and protein in my arms and legs for it. And at the time, I didn't know I could replace meat for another thing that wouldn't hurt animals.
Well, it's actually really easy it's kind of weird when you transition. It's like a new habit. You don't know at first how to do it, but then you learn pretty quickly how to. If you have any question, honestly, just Google it. It's super easy. You just have to replace, for example, the meat or the eggs that you use with lentils or plant-based meat. There's so many things like beans, whatever, you can have falafels. I'm going to give you resources anyways.
I think it's really cool for you to be here and help people learn about.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's really nice and kind for the animals and for the people that can learn new things to stop animals from dying.
I really appreciate that. You guys have been amazing. This was such a pleasure talking with you. So thank you so much, and I'm so happy I met you guys. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See ya. Have a good day. Bye.